to yeah, talk and share with you some ideas about like food preservation and yeah, storing our harvest in a different way like that. Um, yeah, so first of all, I would like to ask you a question, bit like popcorn style, like what are actually reasons to start preserving your food? You start fermenting, canning, drying, etc. What do you think? Rajesh, do you have any ideas?
No, I don't know a lot about it. As I said, I'm very new to it. I only started last year, and then being in a lockdown this year, we didn't produce a lot. But yes, I do want to learn this skill. Um,
Mhm.
if you look in my garden now, there's about, I don't know, 100 apples on the floor, which I've left for rabbits to have. But if I knew how to preserve or make something with it, I would be absolutely wonderful.
Cool, cool.
Maybe I could
So
share.
that's one reason to like transform like otherwise waste products
Yeah,
into food you can store for later.
yes.
Um, cool. Um, Manu, Emmanuel, do you have an idea about why we should start preserving food?
Sorry, you cut me on travel. Yeah, well, the thing is, I mean, I'm not good at it. I'm lacking organization skills, so I'm getting there, you know. But I grew up with grandparents that were growing organic in a traditional manner, not really permaculture, not really, you know, even forest garden at all, but in a traditional manner. And yeah, my grandma only brought citruses because that's all she was lacking in her garden. She would grow everything through the year, salad, carrots, and preserve, and never buy any vegetables. And so I know how to do it the old-fashioned way kind of things. And with my objective of a forest garden, there is a lot that I don't know how to preserve because I didn't grow with it. So I'm learning as it is.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's how do you say, exploration device basically, or not device, but exploration terrain for me. And I really, I'm learning about lacto preservation right now, and I'm quite excited about it. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
Cool, cool. Thank you. Isa, do you have an idea why you should start preserving your food?
Well, my first thought was that it prevents, well, you can prevent waste, like you just said. And otherwise, I wouldn't know, maybe it's healthier than, for example, cooking your food, or I honestly wouldn't know actually.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, that's actually something very interesting we learned like with our holistic life design course last weekend about like especially like leafy vegetables, how it's like good to pre-ferment it, so it's easier for your body to digest it and break down like the cellulose and get the nutrients out of it. So it's very beneficial also for your health to ferment food in advance and so that you can take the nutrients in better. Our guest just brought some jars. That's nice. So, mhm. Cool, cool.
You can do a tasting session for us, Rakesh.
Yeah, yeah. On the camera. Yeah,
Shall I get mine out as well, and we can annoy everyone? Yeah.
yeah. Is that a
What's
citron
that?
pepper? Or it's really big. Mm. Cool. Or you're also like eating it in front of all of us. It's really. uh, yeah. So I also want to share you some make this sharing possible. So if you have any like fermented things in your house that you would like to share, then please bring them so that we can learn from each other. Yeah, I'm also like quite new still to whole like fermenting and food preservation techniques. So I'm also just learning and doing things. And whenever I get an abundance of food, I'm like, okay, I can eat a little part of it right now, but then I can also try to figure out a way how I can store the rest for later. And um, so yeah, for example, I was experimenting also when we had like this huge zucchini harvest. I was watching a house from a friend, and she had like this big garden, like full with zucchinis. And she was on holiday, and she said like, "Oh, yeah, you can just eat all the zucchinis you want." But they were like, yeah, so many zucchinis. I would like literally poison myself with only eating zucchini. So I didn't do that. I cooked for the community, but also preserved some. So I also made some like pickled zucchini. So this is with, I have the recipe written on it. Zucchini with in vinegar, with chili and um, ginger and curcuma. I put in there fresh curcuma. So yeah, that's I thought that was really really nice. I just blanched the zucchini a little bit, so put it for a little while in boiling water, and then put it in the vinegar with lots of other spices. You can just make your own combinations, and then I canned it in the jar. So yeah, and that's really nice. I find it really surprising. They're like really little sour treats, and yeah, I also try with the same zucchini. I can also share my mistakes because I also tried to ferment zucchini, but that was not a big success.
Big mushy
I know,
mess, right?
yeah, it became a very big mushy mess, and there was no taste in it. So don't try to ferment zucchini. Well, maybe you find a good way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you need to eat it really fast.
yeah. Okay,
It's
so
the same with all cocoa bits, yeah, because they don't have such a strong structure. I think like a
yeah.
good rule of thumb when you're fermenting is
Mhm.
you want something that's like fairly crunchy. Like if you want something that's going to last, it needs to be something that's got a fairly good structure. So it's like quite crunchy when you begin. Something that doesn't have too many sugars or too much water. All of those things
Mhm.
you can ferment, just they're not really beginners ferment. So things like red peppers and tomatoes, the sugars aren't so good. They can end up attracting too much of the bad bacteria, going mushy. And the same with the things that have got a lot of water in them. So if you start with like kind of like greens, cabbage family, unripe crunchy fruits, things like that, I think it's an easier place to begin.
Cool. Good to know. um, mhm. 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 Mhm.
Rakesh, could I ask you something? Like because I'm quite interested in the Nepal thing that you were saying, and but when sorry, yeah, just can you use? Oh, thank you. Could you use a dehydrator to dry after? Because I mean, in Scotland, sun drying is not happening. I tried and I get mold. And on a very sunny week, you know, I got a sunburn, but my fruit leather dried, didn't dry, mold did. So yeah, Scotland is not the best friend for drying outside or sun drying. And so could it work? Would it not destroy everything if you dry it with heat, dehydrator or oven, slow oven, or low oven? I mean.
Mm. Mhm. Mm. Yeah, that's also what I did. Like in before the summer when it was not that hot yet. Like but there was sun on the window. I just put like apples or like mushrooms or whatever I wanted to dry on a string, and I put it on strings like in front of my window. But you could also just use the radiator heat of that and just make sure they have like enough space to dry properly. But then mhm, yeah, yeah, cool.
Thank you.
Um,
A lot of experimentation this winter.
yes, always experimenting. Mhm.
You can also make good wraps from them. Have you tried fermenting them and then using them like vine leaves for wrapping up other things? Yeah, yeah, and you can just do the same with the horseradish leaves. I haven't tried fermenting them on their. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you can do really nice mix. And also you can experiment like I did a really nice kimchi, spring kimchi this year. So I just took like all the different greens in the garden and wild greens and whatever I could find and just, yeah, mixed them up and made a big ferment from them with lots of ginger and chili. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it's you can really experiment. It's a nice one. You can do like a kind of memory of a foraging walk. So like if you go on a foraging walk each time, take a load of greens, ferment them in a jar, and then like each time you open it, it's kind of like opening a memory from a different walk and what was growing on that particular day. It's quite a nice way to do it as well. It's like small experiment.
That's beautiful. Mhm. Mhm. Yes.
Wow, I totally have to try that. We've got so much of that growing near us. I've done like a oh, great. Has it got a reggae soundtrack? Haha. Reggae in the kitchen with Rakesh, come on.
How much
Stacks
time
and
do we have
tensions.
left, Sophie, again?
We've got about 5 minutes left.
Okay, great. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so I don't know if you all both still have more recipes to share. I can also just give a tip for like the beginners amongst us. Yeah, I thought, yeah, maybe some of you are not like still familiar with like all kinds of edible plants in the wild, and like might be a bit like overwhelming. Like, okay, go forage and get whatever you you find. And put it in a jar. But I, for example, last week I gave like a tour to different people about like um, how to prevent waste and to live more yeah, in balance with nature and stuff. And I gave them all like a starter kit, like how to start like fermenting your own food. And here in the Netherlands, there's only actually one recipe that uses fermented food, like that everybody knows, and that is sauerkraut. Because everybody in winter here eats cabbage for some reason. Um, And yeah, that's just something really easy to start. That's just like the first recipe or thing I made when I also started fermenting. It's just making your own sauerkraut. And yeah, the only thing you need to do is just have a cabbage and chop it up and knead it so that all the juices release. Put it in a jar with salt, and put it below like its own juice level, and then within a week you have your own sauerkraut. And then after that you can just start experimenting with more spices, like to give flavor to it. And then maybe that's will open up like your interest in fermenting more and more stuff. So yeah, that's how I inspired already some people to start fermenting their their foods, and maybe also you. Like, it doesn't need to be difficult. It's actually very easy. You just have to start doing it and trying, and also learn from your mistakes. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, because it will happen anyways, sometime, someday. But yeah, that also flavors. So yeah, is there anyone who still wants to share something, or just a thought, or before we
Can I
close this session?
just add one thing? In terms of the time frame, as far as I know, I think it's better to wait at least 2 weeks after you ferment something before you really eat it, for the whole process to kind of run its course and to get the most from your ferment. Like, unless it's something kind of mushy, but with cabbage, for example, if you can wait at least 2 weeks, you're gonna get a lot more of all the kind of probiotic action and all the nutrients released. So it's going to be a lot more rich and bioactive if you wait those 2 weeks or more. So like traditionally, a lot of those things were made when it was a big harvest, and then kept kind of longer and longer. And as they age, they become a lot richer. So one thing that's quite nice is if you make something and you just keep kind of like testing it. So like after a week, if you want to test it, then after 2 weeks, and then you can kind of eat it bit by bit and leave it in a cool place a bit more, and the flavor really changes. So that's quite interesting to observe. Another thought I had is maybe, this is a topic that's kind of endlessly rich and fascinating. I don't know if we have, or we can make a channel on Zulip about this. And people can put different questions and ideas and whatever there, and resources. This book by what's he called, Kat Sandors, with the about the art of fermentation, is a really nice one, because he's really kind of pro experimentation and just gives a lot of ideas and rules of thumb that you can then really experiment with and take in your own direction.
Well, thank you for sharing all of your knowledge and experience with us. I think we could have shared many more recipes with Ollie, but I think the important thing is to just start trying yourself and with the things you have. And yeah, because it's very nice to discover something yourself, like, wow, I made this. I can share this with others, and yeah, it's a really nice idea to start like a little collection of things on Zulip. I don't think everybody here is on Zulip because we're this is the public event.
Thanks for reminding me about that.
But yeah, if nobody has something to share still, then I think we can then close the session. Last opportunity here to make a comment. Nobody? Okay, then now, yeah. Let's save it for later. Let's do another session another time. Okay. Well, thank you for joining this session. I'll hand back to Sophie to close this Roots and Resilience event.
Cool. Thanks, Zoe. Yeah, big topic. And yeah, let's talk about it more. And let's ferment some sloes. Such a good idea. um, yeah, yeah, I think. Yeah, I think that's a really important thing that gets lost, isn't it? About kind of seasonal food, and that the food is at its like peak energy and richness and vitality at the time when it's meant to grow and when you have that big harvest of it. Because I've seen, a lot of recipes for like making things, and you're like buying things that aren't really seasonal just because it's in your recipe. And that was a big thing for me in Bulgaria, like getting back in touch with when things are seasonal. Because in truth, I really didn't know living in London. Um, so yeah, it's a big learning process. Okay, so we've got about 10 minutes left. So yeah, it would be really nice now to wrap up if we just go around and yeah, like any thoughts, feedback, kind of reflections on this evening, and also an invitation, any ideas, suggestions, and offers for the next time. Because yeah, we kind of a lot of things happening at the last minute for the last few events, and yeah, it would be nice maybe to have kind of some structure, some ideas laid out ahead. So yeah, if we go around, some reflections on tonight's event and any ideas for the next event, which will be on the 22nd of October. Okay, so let's start with Isa. And we've got 10 minutes to make the circle.
Yeah, I really enjoyed joining this sharing circle, and it was my first time, and was really glad that I joined you, and it was really nice to meet you all. And I don't really have any suggestions for the next time. I'm just excited to I'm interested in most topics, so yeah, I'm excited to see what else I can learn here. And yeah, it was really inspiring, so thank you all.
Wonderful. So Rajesh, followed by Manu.
Oh, hi. It's like you said, it's my first time here, and it's nice to get to know people and also see what their skills are, and maybe tap into them and learn something from them. Um, I'm not in a position to offer any help to anyone because I'm the youngest in this area, although I don't look it. So, but yeah, I mean, as and when I'm able to, I will chip in, and but at the moment I'm just learning. At the moment, it's just growing food, not even preserving. That's way away for me yet. So I'm just looking at composting and things at the moment. But great session. Thank you very much. Uh, yeah, we can, and yes, I will post something, on that as and when needed. Thank you.
Wonderful. Okay, so yeah, Manu followed by Zoe.
There have been again quite a bit of light bulb moments that happened for me tonight. And Rakesh, I know you did a sociocracy course over the summer, and I was away. I couldn't make it. If you do another one, let me know because I'll be there. Because yeah, it's actually, you really tingled my curiosity a bit more about it. So I really would like to explore that more. And because I think, yeah, it's very needed in our lives. And for next session, I would like to finish, or not to finish, but to explore a bit more what we didn't finish with Prama. So that'd be what I would like to do. Yeah, that's me. But thank you again for organizing and all the hard work.
Come sleep over here as well. It will be cozy.
Yeah, but when I move, it's a tribe. We are 6 of us. So
okay. Occupy my student house.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind though.
Okay, lovely. I just looked at where you are, Zoe. Are you sitting on the toilet for this meeting?
No. I'm in the room of one of my roommates now. I moved.
I can just see like a sink next to you and a toilet system behind you. But
it's just I'm in a room in an actual room with on a weird position on the floor. But yeah. Not on the toilet. Yeah, it's just where I have my internet connection. Yeah.
Yeah, what to do? Yeah, it's okay.
It would be something. I wouldn't be surprised if I would actually do that, but not this time. Maybe another time. Next time. Okay. So yeah, I really enjoyed this session despite the troubles along the way, but happy that we managed to do that in a good way, handle it in a good way. So what I have so many ideas of things that I would still like to share and add. So I would really like, maybe together with Isa, maybe you could join on that, like do a session on Penchaxilat. I could also do like a chant sharing session on like different chants that help us connect with nature, for example, or God, I had a whole list of ideas and now they all slip out of my head, but I have many of them already on the list, and I will sure add them to whatever format we're going to decide on. But yeah, also I actually wanted to do something today as well, but about like a mental health kind of tool called RAP. So that's really nice. Learning about that as well. So hopefully I can share more of that in following events. So yeah. Next.
Wonderful. We have Vikashini. Are you here with us?
Hello everyone. I'm just arrived. I'm really sorry. I had my classes and I didn't have the link actually. I just remember, oh, maybe it's 22nd today. So I'm glad I catch up at the end. So I don't know what happened, but happy to be here anyway.
Okay, welcome. Hopefully, yeah, you can catch it on Facebook. There should be, as far as I know, the files there that you can watch at a later date. Is that right, Rakesh?
Okay.
And YouTube. Okay, yeah, we've got full backups. So yeah, we'll post the links to that in the event and then you'll be able to catch up. But yeah, thanks for joining us, and hopefully, yeah, next month you'll be able to join as well if you have time.
Yeah. The Tuesday is a bit tricky for me, but yeah, if it's not a Tuesday, that would be better.
Yeah, I don't know what day it falls, but it's whatever the 22nd is. That was kind of one of the decisions we made, to have it repeating on a date, and then hopefully, because it's not going to be the same day each month, yeah, then more people would be able to
Yeah.
join rather than it always being a bad day for someone. So
That's a good idea.
cool.
Next month is a Thursday.
Aha, thanks, Manu.
So
Okay. So all the Thursday people can join us. Wonderful. Okay, Rakesh. Wonderful. Yeah, maybe it's also kind of easier sometimes. I think there's a lot of people who kind of don't know what they don't know or don't know what you could offer maybe. So maybe one way of also doing it is just putting out some ideas like a list, and then people, that could kind of be an impetus for people to say, ah, yeah, maybe that one, or, you know, help to kind of think about what they'd actually want. So maybe we could put that out somewhere, like a brainstorm of possible future topics, and see what comes. Oh, come on, Rakesh. Can't you be more diverse than that?
Oh, that'd be nice too, though.
I
The
would really like
cycle
to talk about spreadsheets with you, Rakesh, I have to say. Yeah.
and the bicycle energy. I'm up for that.
Wonderful. Okay. Well, the sky's the limit, really. People, yeah, they've got a great resource here, I think, just to come and interact with it. So yeah, thanks everyone. I feel really good after this evening. I have to say today was like a really crazy day. Everyone's like building things in my community. I like offered to help. I was like, yeah, I can help you make some drawings. And they're like, cool. And then they called me and they're like, well, the builders are here and they're pouring the concrete. Can we make the drawings now? And I was like, what? The offer was like to make the drawings in advance. What are we going to draw? What they've already built. So it was, yeah, a bit of a crazy day, like running everywhere, trying to sew things, do things in the garden. And I was like, oh, I really don't want to come on the internet and speak. But actually, yeah, it's been really nice coming on the internet to speak with you guys, because you're you guys and meet new people. And yeah, my heart's full of love. And yeah, it's been a really lovely way to spend the evening. And yeah, thank you all. And yeah, let's see what we can do next time, maybe to already set up the event, put out a notice about collecting some sessions, and kind of get the ball rolling a bit early, so maybe more people have a chance to join us or to think about what they'd like to add or request. And yeah, hopefully meet new lovely people and old lovely people next time. So yeah, thanks everyone for a beautiful evening. Enjoy the rest of it. And
Thank
yeah,
you.
Thank
see
you.
you next
Thank you very
time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Big hugs.
Big hugs, lots of love to you all.